welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Kat and today I am bringing you a first impressions with the Kaleidos Escape Palette. Escape Pod palette, oh my god. I have been lusting after this palette since it was released. I don't know what it was, I think it was the price point that just kind of put me off for quite a while. And this year I've really just been really into like bright saturated colours for eyeshadow for like the springtime. I've spoken about it numerous times on my channel in my spring favourites and trends, and also creating my perfect spring palette. And I just couldn't stop thinking about this. It's been on my wish list for a really long time and I eventually just bit the bullet and I got it. This is one of the Kaleidos 15 pan eyeshadow palettes and this is what it looks like on the inside. Gorgeous, bright purples, pinks, orange, coral. There's like a periwinkle and a numerous array of really gorgeous toppery, shimmery eyeshadows. And we've got a few neutral mattes in here as well. Personally, I would have not put in, I would maybe kept in the dark brown and maybe this lighter beige for if you wanted to use it to blend out shades. But I feel like this shade here is so cool toned in comparison to everything else in the palette, and I would have maybe replaced that with a really nice green matte. I think that would have been really ideal. I know a lot of people have issues with like the orange and the coral being in here and the two greens, but personally I can see quite a big difference between the shades and I love orange and coral eyeshadows, so I am not going to complain about there being an orange and a coral in the palette. Just to compare, it is the same size as the Club Nebula, so they are the exact same size and I think they're about the same price. This cost me, I think it was like $40, so I spent about £35. Kaleidos' shipping is really reasonable as well, and it got to me within a couple of weeks, so I'm very, very pleased. At this point I have 5 palettes from Kaleidos. I have the 2 15 pans and I also have 3 of their Futurism palettes, so I'm very familiar with the Kaleidos formula. I've never had a problem with the Kaleidos formula. There's never been a dud shade. There's never been any sort of issue with these palettes. Yeah, I'm super excited to show you this look that I created, and I will soon start working on a 3 looks 1 palette because I'm so inspired by this palette. I have so many ideas I would love to show you. I do sort of give like final thoughts at the end, but really so far I've only used 5 shades, so I can't give you a very well-rounded review, so definitely stick around for my 3 looks because I will definitely have a review paired with that. I'll try and use every shade in that video so I can give you a very well-rounded, thorough review. So yeah, if you want to see me create this look, then just keep on watching. Okay, let's dive right in. I'm just priming my eyes with the Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer. This is my holy grail. It works with everything and it works with all the other Kaleidos shadows that I've used in the past. My window is open, so you might hear like bird noises, distant car noises, and I apologise for that, but it is such a gorgeous day. I had to have the window open. My hair is also wet, so please ignore that. But hopefully by the time I film the intro, the outro, it won't be wet anymore, so okie dokie. Okay, so here is the palette in its cardboard sleeve. I think this artwork is like just so gorgeous, so I don't want to get rid of the sleeve, so I'm gonna have to find a place to put it. I might cut it out and stick it behind me on my wall. And then this is the palette, the Escape Pod, and this is what it looks like. Take out the plastic. It looks like this. Is so gorgeous. I've wanted this since it came out, but I just never bit the bullet and did it. And then one night I just thought, oh, sod it, you've wanted it for so long. It's my first eyeshadow palette purchase of the year, which is pretty good. Today I'm really feeling something pink. So I think I'm gonna play with like this pink here called Flamingo, this coral down here called Carnival, and maybe one of these like pinky shimmers. That's what I'm feeling. I know it might be a bit boring, but I am going out today. We're going plant shopping. I'm very excited. So I want it to be like a nice functional look, you know what I mean? So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with the shade, I think I'm going to start with the shade Flamingo and build that up nice and bright in the crease, and then I'm going to blend it out with Carnival. Oh, well, I went into the completely wrong shade. I went into the orange, not the pink. Oh well, I'll just blend this out and then put the pink on top. Pink is way less powdery than the orange. Like no powder at all with the pink. That's nice. That is so bright, that's lovely. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of tuck it in right in the crease and quite intense on the outer corners. I know a lot of people had trouble with the periwinkly kind of blue in this palette, which I will test out when I do. I'm gonna do a 3 looks 1 palette with this because it's so gorgeous. So I'll test it out then, but I don't really have time to try an eye look that might not be nice. So yeah. I'm now going to go into the shade Carnival, which is this like corally shade, and I'm going to just blend the pink out with the coral. That's so pretty. Immediately they're blending together like a dream, as kaleidos shadows do. So yeah, that's the coral blending out the pink. I think it looks gorgeous. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the pink, which again is called Flamingo, and I'm just gonna re-intensify it right in these outer corners, just so we don't lose that vibrancy. For my lower lash line, I think I'm gonna do Carnival on the outer corners, which is the coral that we just used, and then I think we're going to use this shade, which is called Soiree, on the inner corners, just so it's like the coral into the lilac. I think that will be really nice. So I'm first going to take the coral Carnival on a little pencil brush, and I'm just going to pop that under here and join it up to the blend on the outer corners, and I will blend it out in a second. And then I'm just going to wipe off that pencil brush. I'm going to go into Soiree, which is that lavender, and I'm just going to pop that right on the front of my lower lash line. Okay, I think that's enough for the matte work. So I think I'm going to do this in a cut creasey way. I'm going to take a flat brush. So I'm just going to pop this in like a faux cut crease shape. I use all of my shimmers with a glitter glue regardless of where they're coming from. So for me personally, it doesn't matter really how shadows perform without a glitter glue, because I'm never going to use them without a glitter glue. So I'm first going to go into the shade Starlight Sonata, which is this one here, and I'm going to use this to define that cut creasy shape and fill in the front portion of my lid. So I'm just going to pop this in the front. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm just using this shade to really define the crease shape. And then I'm just going to go in with my finger and just tap over and intensify and get that really lovely sparkle. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, and now I'm going to go into Amaretto, which is the pink that's next to it. And I think I'm just going to go straight in with my finger now because we have already defined that shape. So I'm just going to pop it in the center and sort of blend in between. This shade does look quite similar to one from the Club Nebula, so I'll definitely have to do a comparison and see. That looks so pretty. I really hope you can see. I'm going to go back in with the brush and a little bit more flamingo, and I'm just going to wiggle over this edge. My inner corners, I'm just going to use a little bit of face highlight. This is Nabla Skin Glazing in Ozone, and I'm just going to pop that right in the inner corners. Okay, I mean, that's it. It's very simple, very easy, but I think it's super pretty. I'm going to hop off camera. I'm going to do the other eye, do any like finessing that I want to do, dry my hair, finish the rest of my face, and then we can regroup. Okay, and then this is the look all put together. What do you think? I think it is really, really pretty. I will say, I've got a lot of glittery fallout on my cheeks. It doesn't necessarily bother me because I like my base to be very like glowy, shiny, so like the sparkly eyeshadow just sort of like adds to that. So I'm not too mad about it, but if this is a palette that you are interested in and that bothers you, maybe that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, maybe in future I will do my eyes first before my base when I use this eyeshadow palette. But overall, I think it's really, really pretty. I wish you could see these sparkly shadows on my lid even better. It's so annoying that I cannot show you these things on camera. So for my eyeliner, I keep putting things away, which is silly, but I've used the Beauty Bay Pastel Eyeliner in Cotton Candy. It's just like a really nice pale pink. For my mascara, I'm still using the Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational, and I still don't really like it very much. It's great for if I'm not wearing any eye makeup. It looks really pretty and fluttery, but to be honest, with eyeshadow, it's just not enough for me. I like big clumpy eyelashes, and this is just not what that gives me. And then for my lips, I have used some of Alden's Eye Apricot Girl. I just put a little bit on and smudged it around, so it's more of like a lip stain than it is a like full-on opaque matte liquid lip. I did add some extra blush because once I've got eyeshadow on, I just feel like my cheeks need more colour, and I'm very happy with it now. But yes, let's zoom out and I can tell you all of my thoughts. Okay, so let's talk about the Escape Pod palette. From what I've used so far, which obviously isn't a whole bunch of shades, I really, really like this. I think the quality is just as beautiful as my other Kaleidos shadows, and I do have quite a lot of them at this point, and I am very, very pleased with them. Whilst I'm here, I do want to compare the two shades that I was talking about. So I'm going to compare Amaretto, which is this shade here in the Escape Pod, to the shade Nebula from the Club Nebula palette. I might also just pop it next to Celestial as well, just to have a look. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see these. So this is Amaretto, this is Nebula from the Club Nebula, this is the shade Celestial from the Club Nebula, and then this is Starlight Sonata. So I would definitely say they're all different. Yeah. So yeah, so this is the one from the Escape Pod, and then this is the one from the Club Nebula. The one from the Escape Pod is definitely more pink, and the one from the Club Nebula is definitely more like orange peach. It's just because they both had quite a similar shift to them that I thought I would just quickly compare just to see. I just adore this color story. They are my favorite shades for like spring and summer. I'll definitely get some use out of these more like neutrally tones as well. I do wish they weren't in there, but that's besides the point. Yeah, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. That'd be really cool. And as always, eat good, drink good, take care of yourself, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.